Today we're talking about the R line. Your trainer today, myself, Randy Pearden, one of the sales team members up here at Rousseau. As is common, we split today's topic up into three quick sections. Why the R line itself, some of those R products, and tips for R. So first, as many of you I'm sure know, why the R line? Well, it started all with the drawers. The R line of products all started with that industry-leading modular drawer. The drawer system is the glue that binds the entire product line together, seen across the breadth of it, and was the starting point for decades of customer satisfaction and an ever-expanding group of products. Pretty much every year we have some innovation in that category. One of the first ones, and it continues to go across that system, is accessories. It's a very, very wide variety. So in the drawer itself, the difference between a simple tray and something much more is what's in it. So that started out with things like simple bin cups or dividers and partitions, but that is now expanded across the entire R line of products, now including panels, doors, holders, mounts, and many, many more things, just driven by that scope as R has expanded outwards. Another thing with R is it was kind of put across that just because something's strong doesn't mean it has to be bulky or unsightly. There are other OEMs that have strong items out there, but they can be quite unsightly. The R line is a product series really that fits all. It's strong, but also visually pleasing. I mean, it can be at the bottom of a mine or an office building and everywhere in between, even retail. Because R is a system of logic, and we're going to show a slide that talks about that dimension logic, it means there's hundreds or thousands of potential dimensional combinations across that line of products. Meaning when you're approaching R through its various different versions, there's a combination, there's a dimension, there's something to do just about anything. The R itself, and we're going to go through a couple of these, it is, though, an integrated family of products. At the heart of it, you got the R box, that cabinet in the middle, steel cabinet drawer, simple as that. But in the next slides, we're going to go through some of these other ones you see, those other systems that are in that wide range of now products. With that, quick and easy, the R product, again, starting with that drawer. We repeat drawer a couple times because it's just that important. The R drawer has a rating of 400 pounds capacity, and it's rated at 17,000 cycles. It leads the industry, and it's probably the main reason, the single main reason why Rousseau as a brand is so well known. For anybody who doesn't know, it also has a lifetime warranty on that carriage that rolls that system. Mobile toolboxes is net one. It's a funny thing how you call something does matter to certain customers. The mobile toolbox could be called a cabinet, could be high density storage or many other things, but it is just a toolbox. It's modular, it's built for real world working environments. It's strong, it's flexible, and depending on your comparison point, it's incredibly cost efficient. If you were to compare a Rousseau box, a very practical alternative, to something that's premium just to be premium, I won't pick on a specific brand, our toolboxes will offer a better set of performance for a better price point. And again, that terminology, static versus mobile, a cabinet versus a toolbox, it's just the parts. That's that ever-expanding Rousseau R lineup. This mobile toolbox is mobile simply because it's a cabinet with a handle, casters, one drawer at a time, and an A-type handle. That's it. There's no other difference between this and a static toolbox. But on the point of static toolboxes, there we go. Big, heavy, with lots of drawers. Of course, could be smaller, mind you. Designed for personalized structured support, it gives you workflow rather than just simple storage. You could buy a couple of doors just to get simple storage. With this, you've got workflow. With the modular configuration as well, and its high load capacity, it means it's adaptable. It can change as the business need changes, especially when you compare it to, say, traditional, often called cupboards, or a lighter duty alternative. Stacking cabinets can be one of those things that aren't thought of, but they're an integral part of that R lineup. It's ideal to complement an existing drawer cabinet or perhaps a design. The stack cabinet is just installed above, as you can see in the image here, and as would be common sense. It's important to note, though, that all Rousseau R-series housings are ready for that stacked cabinet. They've got a couple of knockouts on top, and they've got spaces for those bolts to quickly go in. So there's no big adaptation. You simply put the new box on top and bolt it in place. The stacked cabinet can be configured with fixed shelves, sliding shelves, or even drawer systems such as the R2V. Cabinetry, again, industry terminology, but the Rousseau R lineup is cabinetry by design. It's engineered to integrate with each other as a unified system. And when you use those R products all together, you can see in the picture here, it can create a very customized, adapted layout. Compare this to, say, standalone units or more modular units. An integrated cabinet system gets a great workflow, simplifies install, it's very strong, and it can support reconfiguration. If anybody's curious, the picture here is a military container. R continued to expand also into shapes, the corner workstation. It's perfectly suited for layouts where the walls are kind of coming in tight or you need to use that corner. This can be configured with a simple R cabinet, go to expanded uppers, stack cabinets, shelves, hanging panels, and more. Again, adaptation from that R beginning. Often not thought about, R can be simple shelving. It really, truly can. The R cabinets can be a very high capacity shelving system, allowing thousands of pounds of storage. And it's great where flexibility and portability is required. It's structural, it's welded on all sides, and it's built to attach things like forklift bases. So you could simply take a forklift, pick it up, and move it somewhere. That can, if needed, provide a more adaptable alternative to, say, fixed shelving or a fixed system, making it so that the layout can change, but the heavy loads don't have to be unloaded to do that. Are expanded into manufacturing tooling. The NC series, or numerical control, although now it's steel manufacturing, was developed for punching, machining, and bending, highly specialized requirements that fit into that R expansion. In this example, a surface was designed to accommodate the dies. The R NC cabinet is specifically configured for those bending tools with adaptive drawers, and specialized compartment layouts distinguish it as different, even though it is still R. Workbenches is one of the most visual adaptations you see of R. The GT workbench is R. It's just identified by GT, providing a robust modular workspace built for the performance required often in automotive environments. This R-line adaptation has hundreds of options and is used by designers to provide not just adapted layouts, but specific layouts in a demanding environment, things like motor control or wire housings and etc. Although these are often seen in automotive, all industries use GT with all of those R-line components. Back to that drawer, because we love it. R drawers in other systems. It's a great thing, sometimes forgotten. The R drawer seamlessly integrates into shelving systems, not just ours, but 35 plus others. And it gives greater density, improved organization, a more efficient use of space. And by combining those R drawers with shelving, the capacity increases without expanding the footprint. Those R integrations, though, into those 35 plus other brands, it's a simple bracket that we design. We test those units, we buy those units, we install in those units, making sure that they're up to task and can accept that R product. It's also important to know with the drawer, because we love that drawer, is that it's also compatible inter-system. So you can take an R drawer from shelving, put it in the cabinets, and vice versa. That's an incredible, unique feature. Are expanded in the TechZone workstation hutch. This is a really incredible product. It's designed for intense use, and it makes it so that space can be used to its full potential. It creates a clean, functional, secure environment. You could just pull down the door and walk away. But past that, and not quite seen in the picture, the back of it is actually quite impressive. You've got 4 large 12-inch knockout panels, multiple 2-inch knockout spaces for wiring, data, anything you can think of. It's a great R addition. R2V, couple of years in now, but unique to Rousseau. It's an innovation. When comparing the R2V to a traditional door and shelf, the visibility of stored items is really quite a bit better. and the drawer is just operated outward, which is better ergonomy for touching and grabbing things and moving them up and down. This innovation is, again, only available from Rousseau, and it is the R drawer. We took the R drawer, tilted it 90 degrees, and made sure that it worked well. So you got not only a well-tested solution, a decades-proved system pushing that vertical drawer. Expanding into bigger systems, the stack and store. The cabinets are strong. You can stack them. So that means that you can do a product like seen here, where you've got a 3-side access miniature mezzanine in terms of saying it. The system's unique because it provides an absolutely massive amount of small storage parts in a small area. So if you take a look at each one of those boxes, assume they hold 200 or 300 components each, and then put one on top and one on the back. Incredible amount of storage. Last but not least on the products, the cabinet mezzanine. This was recently offered. It's not incredibly well known yet because it's very situation specific, but the R cabinet can actually be used to construct a mezzanine just on their own. These mezzanines are built by stacking a specialized housing on top and on top and on top, then adding the floor supports or other elements as seen in Rousseau's mezzanine systems. With that, we've got a few tips for R. First up, and this is the one I try to hit home as much as I can, is dimensional logic. The R series, the entire R series, and most things Rousseau follow a simple dimensional logic. And in almost all situations, these logics can be applied without even knowing the parts. There's 3 main rules. The first is widths are in 6 inches, between 18 inches and 60 inches. If it's divisible by 6, you can assume it exists or some combination can make it happen. Depth in 3 is 18 to 30 inch. Same thing. You can assume it exists or a combination can make it happen. And heights, except for a minimum and maximum height, can be done in 1s. So there's a lot of flexibility there. Now, of course, you can see the image on the right here has defined sizes. This is in our general brochure. Of course, try to stick to those as much as you can. But know that Rousseau has your back with that dimensional logic. The next is my Model R, and we can't say enough good things about using this system. It's past 250,000 sessions a year now. Various R products are on my Model R, and they can be quickly designed with a quote being available instantly in your eRousseau account. When designing a multi-cabinet configuration, such as 3 or 4 different types of units across, say, a counter, simply use the cart in the top right to add another design and another design. I tend to call them typicals. The eRousseau distribution portal is another thing. I don't know if it's a tip or just a great place, but it's there. There's CAD blocks, specification worksheets, and thousands of available images available 24/7. If somebody's not sure why they would buy R versus something else, go to Sales Tools, go to Photos, grab a few of those images, and they'll see why. When quoting R can have a lot of part numbers. We just showed you how many different variations of R. So from our perspective, we can't say enough. Hand sketch, hand sketch, hand sketch. The entire team at Rousseau is happy to work off of a hand sketch. These are usually easier to read than written instructions. And as long as we have the appropriate dimensions and details, it's an accurate and fast quoting process. When we get that hand sketch, often this is what we bring back: an isometric CAD model, highly accurate and visually interpretive. We also impress on everybody. Assume what you need exists. Assume what your customer is talking about can be done. There may be minor differences, but assume it. Rousseau has over 120,000 SKUs, many of which are R. So if you assume things exist and you apply the dimensional logic, when you come with the request, chances are we've got something for that without even knowing the entire breadth of product. Last but not least, we want to tell everybody that one of the great successes of Rousseau, why it's widely known and respected, is it's quite simply loved by its users because of its strength, because of its consistency, because of its long-term performance. Rousseau cabinets, the entire R line, has incredibly strong end user satisfaction. It's daily used in fields and it drives continued demand to all of our distribution partners. It's trusted and it's preferred. It's built for the way it's used.